There's no doubt this is an incredible product, but a lot of people, Emily, are wondering, is this an incredible business? And part of the answer comes from finding out what advertisers really think about the platform. So here's a little bit more on how the business actually works.
I've always preferred the cream part of an Oreo. That's crazy. The cookie's the best part.
This was the TV ad Oreo aired during the Super Bowl. But this was the Oreo ad everybody talked about, an ad made for Twitter capitalizing on the Super Bowl blackout. Twitter uses this example to show how it's shaking up the ad business.
65% of people on Twitter are actually doing it on their phone in front of a TV. 33% are tweeting about what they're actually watching. So those are moments that we never had before as marketers.
Along with Oreo, American Express, JCPenney, and Dell are all examples of big brands betting on Twitter ads.
They have succeeded in Madison Avenue to a degree that is the envy of every company on earth, right? You don't see an advertisement or anything today without a Twitter handle built into it.
When advertisers put money to work on Twitter, they often buy what are called promoted tweets, which pop up in your Twitter feed. If somebody retweets that promoted tweet or follows a brand on Twitter after seeing that tweet, Twitter gets paid. Experts say that payment could be 50 cents each time a Twitter user engages with a brand, but during bigger events like the Super Bowl, it could be a few bucks. Multiply that over and over again, and you start to understand why Twitter is expected to generate at least $1 billion in sales in 2014, according to Bloomberg sources. But what's the brand's return on investment?
On average, when you run a promoted tweet, which is taking a regular tweet and then promoting it to more people that would be interested, we see purchase intent lifts, upwards of 40%.
But to give advertisers peace of mind, Twitter recently opened its doors to outside ad partners who are helping marketers figure out if their ads are generating sales. Simon Mansell runs TBG Digital, one of Twitter's partners. He also works with Facebook. He says for big brands, it's always come down to one question.
When you get a lot of exposure on Twitter and Facebook, do you sell more stuff? And sometimes the answer is no, you don't. And that doesn't mean you should stop advertising on Twitter and Facebook. It's where people spend 20% of their time when they're on, say, a mobile device. But it might mean you're not doing things quite right.
As for Twitter getting it right, the sea of cash it has raised from investors affords it some wiggle room.
The great thing is they got plenty of time, they got plenty of money. So I look at this and I go, they've done the hard part. Creating the Twitter brand, that was epic. The challenge of creating a business model behind it is relatively less